Hello, everyone. My name is Elena Burch, and today I am going to talk to you about tablet talkers, or otherwise known as AACs. I am using a very old tablet. As we can see, this is an old Apple tablet, and I am using a free program called Let Me Talk. I have just finished downloading the Let Me Talk app, and I'm going to walk you through how I set it up. When you first open it, you will see a settings menu. I'm going to go ahead and get out of that to show you how to access it when you have already been having the tablet open. So to access the settings menu, you want to go to this gear icon and tap it, and then hit the settings. In the settings, you can choose your language, and there are many languages to choose from. In addition, we have load profile, save profile, and share profile. These are a good idea to use. You can save your profile in case you want to get a different tablet, or if something happens to the program, you can save all of the buttons that you have made so that you can reload them in case something has happened. Boy, I need to fix the sensitivity on this. Hold on. Okay, well, there are sensitivity buttons on most tablets, and in order to fix that, you have to go out of the program and into your tablet setup and be able to toggle through how sensitive it is when you touch. So let's go back to the settings menu. Oh, it was working. There we go. There's our settings menu. And now we already went over the language setting, choosing that. And then also you can back up your profile. You can load up your profile, save your profile, and share your profile. In case you want to change tablets, or if something happens to the program, it will save all of the buttons that you've created. In addition, we have enable notifications. This is a very old app, and we don't really get notifications anymore on it. I'm really glad they kept it, though, because it's very simple to set up, and it will serve your purposes. For an early learner, you could probably use this until they get quite adept at using full sentences, and then move on to either a paid program or more robust app. So what you want to have is all of these buttons toggled on. Show words, speak category names, auto remove sentence, go back to the start category after selecting words, and show words in sentence. I recommend keeping all of those on because they'll be useful, especially when a learner is making full sentences. And we also have, you can change your speed rate. Right now, I'm just going to keep it the way it is, but you can make it slower or faster. You can enable preferred control. I'm reading upside down, everyone. Enable parental control. You can keep that on so that the learner doesn't back out of the program or change any of the buttons, and you can put a password on there. Here, that would enable a password, and it's asking for it. I'm going to go ahead and toggle that off. As well as password protection, we can change the size of these pictures, both for what we call categories, which are the bigger folders that hold all of the individual words, or we can do the image size in sentence bar. There's a sentence bar that'll pop up after they've made a sentence, and that can make the images bigger or smaller, and image size in search results. Depending upon your learner, you may want to change these. Right now, they're set to medium, so I'm going to keep it like that. But if you have a young learner learner or a new learner or a learner with some dexterity control issues, you might want to make them much larger, either large, very large, or extra large. All right, now that we've seen the basic setup, we can look at how it comes when you first download it. These are all folders, and General. Within the folder, there are all the different words. I'm going to back out of here by hitting the start button, and I'm going to erase all of these. The reason that I'm erasing all of these categories is that when we're first teaching a child, I don't want them to make a mistake. I want to set it up for success. And when we have too many options like this, it's too easy to hit the wrong button. As well, we're not using behavioral principles. So if we know that a child or anybody really will repeat behaviors that have been rewarded, we want to make sure the first words that we're teaching them how to use on a tablet are big rewards. And when we have things like feelings, most people aren't really motivated to talk about feelings or clothes. These can kind of muddy the water, so to speak. So I want to take everything off the tablet. And then we're going to start fresh with things that we have picked out ahead of time that we know our learner really likes a lot. And in addition, when we're going over our lessons, not only do we want to pick something that they like a lot, but we want to pick something that has like a what I call a consumable, something that is short, so that we can repeat the lesson several times as we're giving them the rewarding item. So for instance, things that I like to put on there, many children love bubbles. So I'll use bubbles, tickles, push me on a swing. Sometimes we will use edibles. I'm not a big fan of using edibles, but for parents in particularly, that might be great. We could put cookie on there and divide the cookie into 4 pieces or more, depending upon the size of it. And then we can have 4 opportunities to ask for cookie. In order to delete all of these categories, I'm going to press and hold on one. This pops up, and I'm going to delete the category and say yes. And there it goes. I'm going to delete one more. I'm going to press then hold. And our other options are I could rename the category, but we're going to get into all of those in a minute because we're going to be adding in some as well. So I'm going to delete all of these, and I will see you in just a minute. Okay, so now we have a blank slate, and I'm going to show you how to add buttons. The buttons are the individual words, and the categories are the folders that can hold the words. But in the beginning, if we have a brand new learner, we don't want to add categories yet. We are only going to add buttons. A little bit later, after I show you this setup, I'm going to show you how to set up the categories to make full sentences. Okay, so now we have a blank slate. There are 2 options here. We can add in this top plus button. We can either add single words, or we call them buttons, to the screen. So these first 3 options allow you to add single words, or we can add a whole new category, which is similar to the original setup, where that category is basically a folder holding a bunch of single words. For now, when we're first starting out, we only want to add single words or buttons. So I'm going to show you the different options for adding those. So our first one is to search an image. And when we do this, it's going to put a cartoon picture up. Let's see, I'm going to use Bubbles and hit search. Oh, it's Bubbles. So I'm going to pick that one. And then it is there ready to go. So when I hit it,
Bubbles,
it says Bubbles. Sometimes with Let Me Talk, there is an option in the settings menu to change the voice. That is available on the Android version, and it's available on the Kindle Fire, the Amazon Kindle Fire version. But unfortunately, on the Apple version, it is not available. So that is a big consideration. I think it's great to have voices that kind of mimic a girl's voice or a boy's voice, closer to the learner's voice. And when it has that option, what you do is you download a text to speech app, and then you can have many, many different voices on it. So far, we have added a single word using the search image. Now I'm going to show you what happens when you use a take a photo option. In that instance, your camera is going to pull up. You snap a picture of the word that you want your child to say, and then it will pop up similarly to what I'm about to show you. I don't want to mess with the setup that I have going on right now, so I'm not going to do that, but it's very similar to the next button. So I'm going to hit cancel, and then here we go. And I can add an image from a gallery. I highly recommend using this option. What it does is it gets into your tablet's camera gallery, and it allows you to pick from there. And I like to use that one because if you use the take a photo, if you delete the button off, you're going to have to retake the photo. Anytime if I have a new learner and I want to take a button off because it's not an option for them right now, I like to have that picture saved on the gallery so that I can access it from wherever I am. So I'm going to add one from the gallery. This isn't one that I would prefer to use, but it's right here. So let's use that. And then it's going to ask me if I want to rename it, and I do. So I'm going to name it Tablet. Boy, it is hard to type upside down. And hit OK. And there we have it. So let's take a listen.
tablet.
It's working. I have added 4 buttons here. Again, we want to make sure that these are things that your child or the learner wants. Notice though, I added a sock. It's something neutral and what I call a distractor, because I want the learner to discriminate. And sometimes I'll be working with kiddos and they'll just randomly just start pushing the buttons. So if they press sock, I will give them a sock instead of the ice cream, and then they can make that connection between, oh, when I ask for this, this is what I'm going to get. As well, I already had this picture in the gallery, so I used the tablet, but that isn't a great thing to use because when we give a tablet, there can be big problem behavior when you're trying to remove it, and we want multiple opportunities in the same session to practice. So in this case, I would remove it. So again, I'm going to press hold, delete the item. And now I have 3 things that the child finds rewarding and 1 neutral item. This is oftentimes where I will start with the learner. I'll have 3 or 4 things that they find rewarding, 1 distractor, 1 neutral item, and then I will practice with the child. If they like bubbles, as much as they like ice cream, then I'm going to choose one or the other and maybe put a more neutral toy in. And one thing I didn't mention about the pictures, like if you take the picture in the gallery, it really is much better. I like using pictures of items, but the cartoons work as well. This is a basic setup that we're going to use with our learner. And in our next lesson, I'm going to walk you through teaching how to ask for a single word. Right now, though, I'm also going to back up and show you how to make sentences. In order to make sentences, I'm going to need to erase the single words that I have on here. Swing, ice cream. I need to erase these. If you're teaching a learner the single words still, you'll notice that after you press it, it will come up to the sentence bar. What you want to make sure that you keep doing is erasing it as you go along, because I prefer the student to choose from this main area, not from the sentence bar. So it's a little bit of a pain, a limitation of the app, but some of the more robust app will automatically disappear. I did set it, if you remember, in the settings menu, I did set it so that it will auto erase and jump back to the category after you're done when you're making full sentences. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. But for now, I need to erase all of the single buttons because these are now going to go into a category. So I'm going to erase one of them, delete image, and I'm going to go through and delete the rest. Okay, so far we've set up single words for when a learner is first starting. And then as soon as they become proficient at that, and that takes obviously different amounts of time for different people. But when I can have a learner that accurately presses a button with a single press and chooses the item they really want, when I have seen that they can do that reliably, probably 8 to 10 times, I recommend not just staying on the single words. I would much prefer to move to full sentences, so that's where we're going. This time I'm going to hit the plus button, and instead of adding a single word with one of the top 3 choices, I'm going to use add new category. This category is going to hold other categories, and it's going to say I want. So let's fix this so that it says category. There we go, new category. Oops, I'm sorry, I messed that up. Okay, so I accidentally hit new category and it opened up into what will be another area that we're going to put a different folder. In this case, though, what I want to do is rename the category. So I made a mistake. So I'm going to go back to start. I can see my category and I want to put a picture on there and I want to rename it. Rename category. So I've renamed the category I want, and I'm going to hit OK. And in addition to that, I want to change the picture. I have changed it to I want. Now I want to get a new image for this. In this instance, I don't mind using a cartoon picture, so I'm going to pick one from here. I'm going to press and hold. I'm going to search new category image. Let's see what we got. I think it's down here somewhere. Wow. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it's somebody pointing to themselves. I want. You could take a picture of your child and have it there to indicate I want. It doesn't matter too much. A learner is going to figure out this really quickly, believe me. So as long as you keep the image the same, they'll be able to find it. Now that I have the I want category, I'm going to tap on there. Want. Perfect. We're back to this blank screen. Now I want to add another category. So add new category. I'm going to press and hold it. I'm going to rename the category. Let's call this one to eat. And this folder is going to hold all of the foods that the child wants. This one looks great. To eat. And there I have it. So let's back up.
I want to eat.
Perfect. And then now you see it opens up to another area. This is where I'm going to put my food buttons. So I'm going to add one, search image, and I'm going to add grape.